Hello, Chet Lampert again. It's my journey to personal freedom, August 22nd. It's been maybe a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, I don't know, since I talked to you last, and just give you a little update on what's been going on the last week, 10 days. I'm not really sure when I did my last video, but whatever. So last time I talked about trademark, I talked about some of the stuff I want to do with getting better day by day and starting my business and the website and all that. So the website went live. I think it looks great. obstacleelimination.com if you want to check it out. They did everything I wanted to do. It went live, and little back and forth communication type issues here and there. They're not really that good at communicating, but I think it looks great. So it's finally done. It cost me 250 bucks. Wasn't bad. My logo's there, everything's there. And so then I started the trademark process. We went ahead, my wife went ahead and contracted, it's called Rocket Lawyer. It's an online place. It's like LegalZoom, but it's called Rocket Lawyer. It's pretty much, we got a little bit better deal, and I just felt more comfortable the way, because you're dealing with a person, you can ask them questions. LegalZoom was more, just fill out this shit online, and then you kind of really don't know what the answers to some of the questions are supposed to be, and then they give you a price. So the other one, they kind of ask you the questions, they explain what those things are, and it seems it went smoother. So we're going to trademark 3 things: the logo with the name, and our catchphrase. So that's all done. It's not done, but we're going to meet with a lawyer at some point, probably this week, next week, whenever. The guys at Rocket Lawyers said it's going to take about between 1 and 6 months, but more like between 2 and 4 months is about what it takes. Hopefully my logo, no one else has it. If they do, I'm going to have to dream up something else. So we'll see. Then, like I said last time, I had ordered some sensors for the dance idea, and I had contacted some companies about, actually, no, I hadn't contacted. So what's happened then, since then, the website went live, and I was waiting for that to contact the software development companies and the companies to make the textiles, to make the actual suit for jiu-jitsu. Well, I only had one software company contact me back, and they asked a few more questions. I basically gave them some more detail, and hopefully we can work together. And then they said, well, let me bring this back to the team. Well, whoever contacted me, this Lucia, same name as this girl I roomed with in college, actually, Lucia something or other in Taiwan. She said she was going to get back with her team and then let me know what they said, if they can work that way. And then I've heard nothing, and that was about a week and a half ago, maybe a week ago. So not looking good there. And the other 3 companies I contacted, no, they didn't even respond. So that's not going as well as I had hoped. In the pressure suit, I've contacted about 3 or 4 textile companies that do smart textiles, and only one contacted me back. The guy said he was on vacation. Can he call me when he gets back? He was supposed to get back on August 17th. It's now August 22nd. He hasn't contacted me back. So that idea is going to be tricky. I'm going to have to find the right people and keep pushing, keep trying to look to find the right people to do it. But as of right now, I've got nobody. And so that idea is just kind of in a holding pattern. The other idea, though, I've gotten a lot of traction on. So I ordered that motherboard, like I said, that's supposed to hook to these sensors, accelerometers, gyroscopes, that sort of thing. And it's supposed to be able to easily, you plug it in, you load the software, and you can see the device working right away, and everything's supposed to work fine. Well, turns out that motherboard, I couldn't get the software to install properly, and actually I got it to install properly after a Herculean effort by me, like trying all kinds of stuff with the drivers, and all kinds of stuff weren't working. So finally I got it all installed right, and then eventually it's got some LabVIEW runtime error, and I looked online, tried to find the solution. I found the solution online. I installed the solution. That didn't fix anything. So back to square one on that. And then I tried the same exact thing. I installed everything again on a separate computer, thinking maybe that version of Windows or whatever. No, nothing. So whoever makes that device, that motherboard, the software that goes along with it is garbage. and I can't install it. Maybe it works on Windows 10 or something. I'm at Windows 7. I'm not going to be upgrading Windows to Windows 10 just to get that motherboard working, because no matter what, I've got to get my own design working on my own processor to talk to this boards eventually anyway. So I was like, forget it. I'll return that motherboard. It's like $314, so from DigiKey. Hopefully I'll get that return in the next couple weeks or whatever, but no matter, I'm sure I'll get the return. And I kept the sensor. I got another sensor. I got another 2 sensors, a 3-axis accelerometer, 3-axis gyroscope, all in one IC. So that's the one I'm going to use. Probably it's the one device I have right now is still the gyroscope. That's the only one I kept from DigiKey, because I figured, well, let me keep this. I got to get it working anyway eventually. So I decided to go back to some of my old hardware that I used to use, this Xilinx dev board. It's basically an FPGA, and I've pretty much been doing that for the last 15 years or so, 10 years or so. So I've got a lot of experience in that. I instantiated a soft core on the FPGA, went through trials and tribulations, got that soft core working, debugged the SPI interface, made sure it was doing exactly what I thought it should do from the board itself, the ML507 board from Xilinx. And finally, after a day of messing around with that, I got it working, which is what I've done designs like this plenty of times in the past. It's just I hadn't done it in years because it's kind of an old board. I needed to use this. Oh, sorry, more planes, always planes. Yeah, I haven't used these boards in years, and the reason why, everything's gone to the newer Vertex 6, Vertex 7s, and this is a Vertex 5 part. It's just sitting in a cabinet somewhere and hasn't been used for years. I mean, it's pretty much scrapped by this point in time for work purposes, but for this purpose it's great because it's got 3.3 volt interfaces, and that's what this part has, 3.3 interfaces. So I got that designed, that working, wrote all the software, could figure out how to drive the SPI, figured out how to drive the GPIOs again. I mean, I used to know how to do all this stuff back in the day, but it's been a while. I had to relearn it. It took me about a day and a half. That is all working now, and then I plugged it into the actual device and read up on it, what it's supposed to do, this whole startup sequence and blah, blah, blah. Well, it was giving me some errors about power glitches and whatnot. It was basically under voltage glitch. This device does a self-check every 6 microseconds, basically, and it tests everything. It does a whole internal calibration during that time while it actually running. So that's pretty cool. I can't believe it does all that while it's running, and it's a tiny little IC. That was telling me it was getting some power error, and I added a cap to the power rail, a big old 120 microfarad cap. This is pretty damn technical, but it's what I did. I wanted to go over what I did. And that didn't fix it. It's still, I could put it on an oscope and see that it glitched just below the thresholds that they talk about in the spec. So I had to hook it up to a power supply. Got a power supply, hooked it all up, finally got it working without this power glitch error. So now I can finally, maybe a couple tweaks here and there, but I can finally start getting measurements out of this gyroscope and see how it works, see what kind of numbers it gives me, gather some information, and potentially in the next few days, hopefully plug it into some machine learning algorithm, or at least start that process of actually doing real machine learning on just a simple single axis gyroscope. I'm first gonna spin it in circles and like just do 1 360 and say yes or no, it did a 360, and then maybe do 75% of that, maybe 270 degrees, and say it didn't. Basically do a bunch of those iterations, maybe 100 of them, maybe I don't know, 200, 500 of those iterations, where I'll go halfway, I'll go quarter way, I'll go full way, and it'll be a yes/no response. And so hopefully with that information all in the training sequence, I'll be able to have the machine learning figure out what makes a full circle versus a non-full circle. Because that's one of the basic things, like a yes/no on one specific type of data. And once I can do that, that means that this idea really is going to work. So I'll have to take that data, package it the right way, all those hundreds, probably 500. It's gonna take a lot of actual data just for me, trial and error. A lot of runs where I'm just collecting data, and saying yes or no, it made the full circle or it didn't. And then plug all that into the machine learning, and hopefully it'll learn easily if it made the whole circle or not. This seems like the most basic thing I could possibly think of to start with, and that's how I'm kind of gonna do it. You know, one step at a time. Just keep adding, and iterating on something working, and that's gonna get me to my end goal of having a fully functional fully functional product. So I'm pretty excited for that idea. Not as much for the jiu-jitsu idea, which was the first idea. I mean, I'm still excited. I just got to find the right people, and it's proven very difficult to find people that are actually gonna want to do this. I think maybe it's the whole two people going together and doing motion caption on that, and I don't see a lot of that in the industry. I've seen some papers from colleges on some people doing that, but it was all researchy type stuff, not like what people do in movie theaters, not what they're used to doing. So maybe that's why they're not responding, but who knows? I don't know. I've gotta keep pushing. Maybe not this year, maybe next year they'll be able to do this sort of thing, and I'll be right there ready to go. So until then, until I find a place, I'll just keep pushing. And other than that, that's just simple. It's just sending emails and making phone calls maybe at the most, until I can find someone that actually can do what I want. Until then, I'll just keep working on the dance idea, which is going, not smoothly, nothing smoothly in engineering. I mean, it's just, I don't know. If you've ever been an engineer, then you'll know what I'm talking about, when things just, they fight you tooth and nail until you figure out everything that can go wrong you've fixed. So that's generally how engineering works in my life. You just keep eliminating the problems, eliminating obstacles. That's what I do. And that's kind of why I've been saying that for years. That's what I do, and that's why I named the company the way I did. So that's about it for as far as what I've been doing for the business. My wife's taken over all the other stuff, that non-engineering stuff that I just don't have time for. We contacted our lawyer about, the lawyer we used for, I forget what we used her for. We used her for something. I forget. Maybe I don't remember why we used her. Oh no, I know. Our will. She can actually do the, add basically a fake name under my RC Administration LLC company, so that everything I do is legit for obstacle elimination, that it all goes back to RC Administration LLC, which is what I wanted to do. It's pretty simple apparently. It's probably got to pay the lawyer a little bit, and you got to pay some sort of fee to the state of Florida to link those two names together as RC Administration LLC, and I can use either one and that'd be fine. So I just want to be legit, have my trademarks, have my business name, got my website, all that's going perfectly, and now I just gotta produce. I gotta make the product and move forward. Other than that, I told you I was going to talk about moving forward, lessons I've learned from all the people that I talked about in the past. Well, one of the things just came up yesterday. Like, my wife, she got pretty angry because I have a tendency, well, she thinks I have a tendency to talk over her, don't let her finish, and she's been telling me this for years. I don't see it. I truly don't see it. I don't think I talk over people any more than anyone else in the history of the planet has talked over people. I talk a lot, but not over people, not in a negative way, I don't think, but maybe I do, and no one's ever mentioned it ever in my life except for her, but she seems to think I do, and I've been paying attention to this for a long time about her, like, how does she do it, and I can't imagine I do it any more than she does ever, but it doesn't matter, and that's the point. On this lesson that's from Jordan Peterson, if your wife is pissed at you, just think about what did you do to contribute to this problem, and can you fix it, regardless of if she does it too or if they do it too. It doesn't matter. If you want a happy relationship, just try to figure out what you can do to make it better. And what I'm going to do is just, and it happens more with my wife on the phone than in person. It happens in person a lot too, less now than before. This where she gets angry because she thinks I'm talking over her all the time. I don't let her finish. I don't know. I guess I roll my eyes at her. Sorry, Hinata, if you watch this, but I was rolling my eyes because I don't think I do it. Either way, she still gets mad. Even if I don't think I do it, she still gets mad. I don't want to get mad. That makes me like, what the hell's going on? Why can't we just have fun and enjoy ourselves? But so if I want to get back to just having fun and just enjoying ourselves and having a great relationship, I'm going to have to change something because it's definitely a problem for her. So I'm going to, on the phone especially, try to consciously wait until there's a bigger gap before speaking than I normally, I guess, would instinctually wait for. So that's the plan. And today I started, and I don't want to do it in a negative way. I don't want to do it where it sounds like I'm being an asshole, like long delays and unnatural conversation. No, I just, you know what? It makes her angry. Maybe I do it. Maybe I don't. I don't know. I don't think I do. Either way, I gotta fix it. So because either way, it's not gonna be fixed on her side. I gotta do something. So I'm gonna do that, and we'll see how it works out. That's one of the things that Jordan said to do. So that's about it. That's really all I had to talk about today. So I'm gonna sign off. I'll try to do more videos. I think with the dance idea, things are happening a little more quickly now because I got hardware. I've ordered more hardware. I've got the board hooked up. I'm gonna start getting data. I'm gonna, hopefully by the time I talk to you next time, I'll have at least the data put together for all the trial runs of doing the sensor, this single gyroscope, single axis gyroscope, and hopefully it'll be something that I can push into the machine learning algorithm, and it'll give me a good result. And once that happens, man, it's off to the races. Then I can just build and do it. All right, well, signing off. Oh, one more thing. So we know who we're gonna get, like the expert to actually grade or judge how the goodness level of a particular dance move. We haven't approached her yet because I'm not ready. I don't have hardware ready. But as soon as I have hardware ready and I can hook it up to my daughter and she can do it, and I can like see how the sensors actually react with her, and I'm getting good data with all the sensors and all the hardware, because I'm going to have multiple sensors on the body, right? I'm going to have I don't mind saying exactly what I'm doing because no one's watching these videos right now anyway. Eventually, if I don't ship this idea before people actually start watching these videos, then I'm going to have to make these videos private. But right now they're public. Whatever. Eventually, maybe someone will watch them and they'll find it useful, but for right now, they're public. No one's really watching them yet, of course. I didn't expect it until I actually made it that people would look into this to find the videos, which is why I'm not really too worried about giving all the details. And because by the time, if this really takes off, by the time people watch it, this product will be launched, and who cares if you know what I did to do it? I mean, people are going to copy me anyway, so I might as well tell you what I did. All right, so Chet Lampert, My Journey to Personal Freedom, signing off. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.